Hi everyone. So a viewer, CL Strife to name her because she has been my most prolific questioner, and I'm grateful to her for that, was asking me not long ago, why is it that it seems that most INFJ writers seem to be so people focused? And it's true that when you think of a writer like Dostoevsky or a writer like Hess and other INFJ writers, they do seem to, you could mention Tolstoy as well, of course. They seem to be interested in people. There are distinctions between Dostoevsky, Tolstoy, and Hess. I think Hess is very, very spiritual, but still, it's always channeled through the lives of particular people and deep interests in the lives of people and how people negotiate interactions and relationships with others. So why is that the case? I would extend the claim that CL Strife makes, to INFJs in general. I think that INFJ writers just encapsulate in a particular kind of craft, the literary craft, just a general interest that INFJs have in people. Now, INFJs are not interested in people for the sake of just people and their gossip and their particular traits and their personalities and their relationships. INFJs are interested in people in a way that is inevitably filtered and colored by the NI world. That's what distinguishes INFJs and INTJs, by the way. I'm not saying that INTJs have no interest in people, that is not true. But the way that INTJs channel the expression of their NI worldview is primarily through TE, which is the function of extroversion of the vision, which is obviously a quite impersonal function in how it manifests. Now, that's not the case with FE. FE is a social function, it's an intersubjective function, which means that, in a sense, and perhaps this is the essential point, NI, for the INFJ, is brought to life in external reality through other people. Now, through the INFJ themselves, of course, but through other people as well. NI in the life of the INTJ is not necessarily brought to life through other people. And that has everything to do with the different kind of alienation that INFJs have versus what INTJs have. I like sometimes to say that INFJ alienation is quote-unquote even worse, because they do depend on the response of that perceived other subjectivity, at least the one subjectivity of the other. The one who is not an INFJ, who's out there in the world, has to be acknowledged as a subjectivity, not just as a thing or a scheme of impersonal interrelationships. So in other words, insofar as an INFJ gets out of solipsism and brings their NI to bear, to external reality, they do that through the channel of other people. And so, of course, they're going to be intensely interested in how other people work and how other people fit their NI worldview, and how NI might encounter resistance in other people, and how that might further inform the NI worldview. There's a constant interaction between the NI worldview and other people. You might put it in this other sense. You might say that the bridging of severance, the bridging of the NI world and external reality, takes place through interacting with other people, which is why socializing is so important to anyone really, but to INFJs in particular, in the flourishing of their NI. And the mistake, I think, that solipsist INFJs make, which can be understood because it's solipsism showcases a deep relationship with the NI function, but only in terms of consolidation, not in terms of expansion. The expansion of the NI worldview can only take place through interaction with other people. So that's why I think, in a very encapsulated sense, you see NI dominant writers, particularly NIFE writers, take such an interest in the lives of other people. And you might notice really interesting characters in the writings of those authors. You usually have to deal with very thoughtful, profound characters that ask themselves very profound questions, either quite aligned with the NI worldview, or when it is contesting the NI worldview, it's always in a productive and fruitful fashion that further develops the NI expressed. And I think that's really the reason why NI users of the INFJ persuasion are almost built to be interested in other people, because they know their NI worldview, insofar as it is expressed in external reality, will have to contend with these other subjectivities. That's just in the way of being an FE user at the end of the day. Okay? The bridging of severance is achieved through FE. Let me know in the comments what you think, guys, and don't forget that if you want to read more about INFJs, I've written 2 books on the matter. INFJ Life in the Modern World, The Infinite Soul, which delves deeply into questions of INFJs, NI in a world that is often perceived to be hostile. This is the book to get if you want to know more. I go into great detail about all these questions. The link is right below, guys. And the prequel, of course, goes very well. The 2 books go well together. Is the Ecstatic Soul, a new look at the INFJ personality, which takes a deep, hard look at the INFJ mind, the INFJ consciousness, and all its complexities and intricacies. What's it like to be an INFJ, what's it like to think like an INFJ, and so forth. As usual, don't forget I have a Patreon page as well. My channel depends on your donations, your very, very kind donations. Thanks for considering supporting me on Patreon. Not forgetting that you get access to bonus content every 2 weeks, in-depth videos where I discuss topics from mainstream YouTube and my books, as well as access to the community, to myself, priority for me to discuss particular topics in video, and more. So hopefully see you there, and I'll talk to you next time, guys. Bye-bye.